Hello everybody, welcome back. Today I am doing an Aizawa ex-listener. It says that's just a fluff, but you go into labor. I'm sorry, it's a female ex-listener. I'm sorry for that. Because I know there's some males out there. I'm so sorry for that. You can still watch it if you want to, but you don't have to. No one really has to, but it's here, so yeah. So as always, my Discord is going to be linked into this description, and I'm working on my 1K special at the moment. I have 2 of the people included already written in it, so I hope you guys enjoy that, and I hope you guys enjoy this. Prompt. Aizawa's wife, Wayan, has been expecting their first child for a solid 9 months, and while he was teaching, she goes into labor. Second person point of view. The last 9 months have been both a dream come true and a nightmare. It was a dream come true to officially start a family with the love of your life, Shota. When you found out you were having a baby, you were over the moon, and so was your husband. However, it was much harder than you expected to carry that said child for more than half a year. Morning sickness was an absolute nightmare. Shota felt bad, knowing you were in pain and there was nothing he could do to help you. He knew in the end you would both look back and know it was worth it. He hoped you would want to have another child with him, but of course, once you both got a handle of parenthood first. Shota never saw himself as someone who wanted to be a father, but that all changed when he married you. A lot of things changed when he fell in love with you. You reached a point where you had to stop working, and you had to let Shota put the finishing touches to the nursery. It looked perfect, but it was gender neutral. You both made a deal that you weren't going to find out the sex of the child until they were born, and it was going to be a lovely surprise for the both of you. However, as you stared down at your belly, the only thing you wanted was for the damn child to get out of you. You wanted to meet the little sucker already, and you also wanted to be done living with the whole pregnancy thing. You had to keep telling yourself, it's all going to be worth it, it's all going to be worth it, it's all going to be worth it. You were praising the heavens. You were getting closer and closer to the due date. It was a bit nerve-wracking, but you were excited. You anxiously waited for the little bundle of joy to be brought into the world. First person point of view of Shota Aizawa. Suddenly, my phone began to vibrate on the desk. At first, I ignored it and almost began to continue the lesson I was teaching, but I soon had the thought that it might have been Wayan and decided it would be best to answer. I'll be right back, I said, while taking my phone and stepping out of the classroom. Hello? Are you Mr. Shota Aizawa? A feminine voice asked on the other line. Yes, why? I asked, taking a few steps away from the door. I knew if those brats could hear me, they'd eavesdrop on my conversations. I believe your wife, Wayan? The woman explained. She's here in the hospital, going into labor. I'll be there in 10 minutes. I hung up the phone and bolted for the exit. The hospital wasn't too far from the school, about the same distance from Wayan and I's home. Second person point of view. The rest of it was a blur. You remember a searing pain course through your body. You remember the doctors and nurses encouraging you, and you remember grabbing onto Shota's hand, and you remember the soft words, "It's a girl." Your eyes gently fluttered open. You could tell you were on lots of painkillers as the world faded into your senses. The clean hospital room was silent, and you looked around. You saw your loving husband asleep in the chair next to you, and you smiled. You looked to the other side of the room and felt tears prick your eyes. A swallowed-up baby was fast asleep as well, and An isolated memory came back to you then. A wave of relief washed over you when you heard the sweet yet heartbreaking sound of a baby's crying echo throughout the crowded room. You let go of Shota's hand, much to his relief. The nurses took the child to clean them off before returning to the two of you. Congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Aizawa, the doctor said, handing the child to Shota. It's a girl. Shota was speechless. The only thing that came close to giving him the amount of sheer awe, joy, and wonder in his eyes was when he first saw you walking down the aisle on your wedding day. You saw a single tear fall from his eyes as he gently held his newborn daughter. He seemed like he didn't know what to do with himself. You laughed and closed your eyes, leaning your head back with a big grin. Shota! You yelled, wanting to wake him, but not your child. Shota! You finally saw your husband begin to stir, and finally opened his dark eyes. He smiled softly and got up from the chair. He placed a hand on your head, sweeping the hair from your face and kissing the top of your head. I love you, he whispered, resting his head against yours. I know, I love you, and I love you too, you said back. I can't believe I actually did that. I'm proud of you, Shota told you sweetly as he placed his other hand on your thigh gently. You then noticed the bruises that were scattered across his hand. You gasped and took his hand in yours gently. What happened to your hand? You asked, rather concerned. You did? Shota chuckled bitterly. Nearly broke my hand, too. Oh, I'm sorry. It's okay. Did we name her yet? You asked. I can't remember. No, Shota stated. I thought you'd want to be fully conscious for that part. You nodded and laughed quietly. Any ideas? What about Kiseki? He said. He smiled softly. I'd like that. I hope you all enjoyed this. At the very end, the what about part, it was a cliffhanger and there wasn't a second part to it, so I just wrote down a name and just finished it because I know some of you would probably want a second part if it left off on a cliffhanger. And there's not one, and I'm too lazy to write a complete second part to it. Yeah. If you're wondering, Kiseki means, it means miracle in Japanese. I just looked it up on Google Translate, so it might not actually mean that, but who knows. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this. I'm hoping and praying that I will get the 1K special done soon. At most, it would be uploaded next Sunday, but I'm hoping to get it done by at least like Wednesday, Tuesday. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this. This gave me some serotonin for the day, so that makes me happy. And I'll see you all next time. I love you all.